but we don't have time to deal with little BS. Everybody, welcome back to my channel. Y'all, if you have been on social media, especially TikTok, there's been so much conversation, at least on my For You page, about women being single and the dating pool being trash and dating apps being gross and stuff about Hinge not actually being the app that you're meant to delete because you found your future relationship. You're deleting it because gremlins are on there. There's just been a lot of talk about singleness and relationships, and I think it's so interesting that this is always a topic that comes up. Obviously, because in our society and as women, you know, we kind of are conditioned to believe that having a relationship, having a family is sort of like your main priority. Even if you are like a self-made woman, a working woman, even if you are at the top of your game, there's still this expectation that you need to be in a relationship at some point and have some kids, start a family, or there's something wrong with you. If you also come from immigrant household, there are some traditional expectations still ingrained in your upbringing. There's just a lot of expectations about having a relationship, having everything, having it all at 25. It's just so funny to me that we still talk about these topics in a way that's a little bit outdated. However, I do feel like I'm seeing a shift on TikTok, especially, where a lot of women are, you know, they're standing on business, as we have been seeing, or at least trying to stand on business, because I have seen some TikToks where, you know, it hasn't worked out. And look, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes you just want a little comfort. I get it. I understand. Like, it is cuffing season. It's cold outside. You want to cuddle buddy. I understand. You want warmth. I do think the whole topic about being single and how a lot of women are now experiencing it because they don't want to deal with BS from men. Why was there even an expectation that we have to put up with BS from men? And it does go back to what I was saying previously about this ingrained value system of women needing to be in relationships, women needing to have a man by her side, regardless of how powerful, how incredible she is. If the man is not treating you with honor, with respect, what's the point of having that man by your side? As someone who definitely does identify as a late bloomer, especially in like relationship settings, I didn't get into my first relationship until I was like 23. Didn't really start dating until I was like, I want to say 22, 23, honestly. I started dating-ish like senior year of college, spring semester, which was 2020. We all know what happened in 2020, so didn't really do that much dating in 2020. Obviously, 2021 kind of did more dating. That was when like my dating experience launched. I have been single for a while, and like I'm single again right now. Personally, as someone who did not have a boyfriend in high school or college, barely had men, or well, okay, boys, because I was in high school, and college I was still considered them boys. Barely had boys approach me in those formative years. I have just learned, and I've always appreciated my alone time. That gave me a lot of time to understand and also observe the different relationships around me. And my mom, she always tells me like, you shouldn't compare yourself to like these relationships or what your friends are dealing with. I totally agree, like comparison is not what you're supposed to do, but observation is very important when you are in your era of singleness, okay? When you observe and you see patterns, you see similarities in different relationships, it teaches you that there are certain ways that people interact in relationships. It kind of makes you more aware and observant of potential red flags or negative behavior. It also shows you the kind of relationships you probably don't want to be in. It shows you the kinds of roles you don't want to play in these relationships. So I think for everyone who is in their era of singleness, of solitude, you should take it as a learning period, as a resting period, as a healing period. There's only so many times where you have time to yourself as an adult, especially if you are someone who wants to have a family and wants to get married. So depending on how your relationship, your dating period, whatever it is ended, it is good to take a break and observe everything that happened in that time. Look back on how you were acting in that time, how your significant other, all the people you were dating. Think about the actions and interactions that you were dealing with. What did you like? What did you not like? It doesn't hurt to write a pro-con list. It really doesn't hurt to write down things that you did that you weren't proud of. It just shows you the kind of person that you are, and also maybe the kind of person you don't want to be. Maybe you weren't really honest in your relationships, in your dating era. Maybe you weren't truthful to yourself or to your partner. It really comes down to how your experience was, and you need to take the time to understand why dating might make you feel icky, guilty, shame, if there are any negative emotions, feelings associated with dating and relationships and love. You need to take the time to identify that. I know for me personally, I think I am in the camp of the girls on TikTok where dating just feels very icky. I know what I want, and I know how I'm supposed to be approached. Like, I just know based off of my experience dating, like, I know what I am deserving of and what I'm worthy of, the kind of attention that I'm worthy of, the energy, especially. I have been given that kind of energy, that attention before, because I'm deserving of it. And if I'm not getting that from people, what's the point of sticking around? You know what I mean? I think it is also attributed to the fact that I've grown from the first time I started dating when I was 23. Now I'm 25. Like, I've grown. I know what I want. I'm more intentional with what I want. And I'm also very intentional about my time. When you think about it, dating takes up so much time. And I don't have time to be thinking about a person or multiple people in my head when I have so many other things that I'm working on, that I'm doing. It's not even I don't have the capacity, it's I don't want to. I feel like I don't really want to have that brain space for people that might be in my life for like a second. I'm just really not in my dating era right now, which is totally fine. I'm single and I love being single. Regardless, understand why you get the ick from certain people, because that'll help you when you are finally ready to branch out and start dating again. This is the perfect time to do things you want to do. You don't have to think about other people if you don't have any responsibilities right now. You don't have to worry that your partner doesn't want to do this trip. You can go on the trip. You have so much time now because you're not putting in energy into a different person. You have this excess energy that can be put into your hobbies, your goals, whatever you have been dreaming about. Things that you have wanted to do so badly, but you just felt like you couldn't because you didn't have the time, or you wanted to do it with someone else. Like, this is your time to really branch out and do things that you want to do. This is also your time to step out of your comfort zone. I feel like when you are alone and by yourself, that is the most crucial time to try new things that you're curious about, and that maybe there's a little interest but a little fear because you're like, oh my God, I've never solo traveled before, for example. It's your time to put yourself first and put yourself forward. Like, my favorite thing to do is like a little solo adventure. Like, I've gone out by myself before in DC, and I swear every time I go out by myself, I have the best time. I don't know what it is. I just have a blast. I would recommend like solo dates, solo adventures, solo travels, solo whatever you've always wanted to do, because it really teaches you about your comfort levels, shows that you enjoy yourself. That's really what it shows. You are able to have fun by yourself. Like, maybe you'll meet people when you're out, but the fact that you like took the initiative to take the step outside and go and have fun by yourself just gives you like an extra level of confidence. I know when you're single, it might be the case that there are a lot of thoughts of you thinking like, oh, I am building myself up for that next person. I just think that is a natural thought process that's gonna happen, but I don't think that's the best way to think about your single era, thinking that this is your period to glow up for someone else. No, this is your period to transform yourself for you. End of the day, you are making the decision to add someone to your life, to attract someone that you want to build a future with, rather than settling because you feel like you need to know. Like, you don't need to. You are using this moment to build yourself for you, Do all of the things that you've always wanted to for you. Have as much fun as you want for you. And then when you feel like you're comfortable or you're ready or you want to go and mingle, then you go out and start dating again. But it's not you're glowing up for someone else. You're upgrading your life for a man. No, no, no. You're upgrading your life for yourself. And that is so critical. I think when you are single, this is when you realize what you want out of a relationship. There is a difference between dating and a relationship. Dating, you're just meeting people, talking, like it's not official, but relationship, like that's serious. In my opinion, that is something that holds a lot of value. Like I've learned through my past relationship what I really want out of a relationship and what a relationship means to me, because like I said, I've only been in one relationship. Obviously, I observed other relationships, but I didn't know like how I would be in a relationship and what a relationship would actually be like. And I obviously made mistakes in that relationship that I'm aware of and that I know not to do. And I've unlearned those bad habits or those bad mindsets that kind of allowed me to make those mistakes. When you are single, you realize your time is precious. Your time is genuine. When you're thinking about a relationship, this is when you realize that the next person who comes into your life, where it's serious, like you see a future with this person, they need to add value to your life. They can't just be at your level or below. Honestly, whether it's like they help you build your mindset, they are interested in things that you've always been interested in, and they like take you into those experiences and you learn from them, whatever value add you want. You need to be aware and intentional of what that is. I hate to be that morbid person, but we don't have time to deal with little BS. We don't. We are grown. If you're in your 20s, we are in our 20s. Our 20s are for fun, obviously, but when you're thinking about a relationship, when you get to that point, you got to make sure that you're not just thinking about for fun, you're thinking about serious. And when it comes to a serious relationship, your partner needs to add something to your life, and vice versa. You should be adding to your partner's life. Those are my thoughts on being single and how to really transform yourself in your single era. I literally had no notes written down, so I am sorry if this is all over the place. So I hope this was helpful and interesting to y'all, and I'll see you guys in the next one.